Hello there, hi. Uh, my name is Julie, and I wanted to jump on and talk a little bit more about the Encaustic Wax Art Retreat weeks. You might have seen a live I did, it was yesterday, a couple of days ago, directly from my studio, and I was giving you a really good tour around the studio and just talking about why I'm doing the weeks and what they're for and who they're for. So you might want to go and check that out if this is of interest to you. But what I wanted to do today was, I didn't have any of the details in front of me. It was just a quick on the fly live, Facebook Live that I did. So I'm actually here in front of my computer today. So I just wanted to turn this around and show you the website, where to find out more information. And again, just another opportunity for you to ask any questions or just, things that come up. So anyhow, let me whizzy this around. So I'm just here in my my office at home at the moment. So I'm just going to focus at the minute on talking about the art retreat. So my website is artyheaven.com. You'll kind of come in on the home page here and there's a little video and a bit about, etc. So I'm actually here on the art retreat page at the moment. So this is where to find all of the information. So where to find this is if you go to the shop area, come down to Learn Encaustic. In fact, let me go back one step. You go to Learn Encaustic where you will see all of the information. So art retreats, I do studio working days and then smaller workshops and online courses as well. So it kind of goes through all of this, and then you'll see here, you can kind of click into all the relevant bits and pieces really. So there's so many ways you can work with beeswax and encaustic wax. So if you don't know anything about it, go and check out the home and the about pages and the wax pages. There's a lot of information on there. Frequently asked questions and things, but I'm kind of jumping in because I'm guessing if you're watching this, I'm just going to talk about the art retreat weeks at the moment. So you'll come onto this page and there's basically a bit of an overview about the what we cover and how it all works. So here's a picture of inside my art studio. I'm not going to read through all of this because you can read it as you go. And then it's a real kind of high level overview. So what we do is it's basically a week at my studio in Hertfordshire, but we also have a couple of days out. So we'll go to London on one day and go to the British Museum and the Petrie Museum and go and have a look up close at these kind of 2,000-year-old Fayum mummy panels, which were painted with encaustic wax, and really where the origins of wax painting began. And then from there we'll go down to this amazing art shop. It's just a really oldie worldy shop, pigments as far as the eye can see. We also go into like another local art shop nearby, and then this is my art studio. So it's really peaceful location, it's lovely. And there's all sorts, so there's a bit of an overview to start with, and then these are the dates that we've got coming up. So there's one in October this year, 7th to the 12th. There's one, and this is for artists who are currently working with encaustic wax painting, which uses beeswax and Damar resin. So that's for artists already working in that style. If you're a complete beginner, there is a beginner's week on the 11th to the 16th of May in 2020. And then there's a second one for people already using wax and Damar in June 2020. So you can see all the information there. So these two, the details are the same, and then this one is slightly different. So this week here is me kind of teaching beginners from the very beginning for the entire week. Same format, go to London and what have you. And we would spend the week together on the beginners week. On the weeks for the artists already using wax and Damar, which mostly what I'm going to talk about today, you're mostly already working with a number of these techniques, as long as you kind of know how to fuse layers up, and let's turn this around, I'm just looking at my computer the whole time. As long as you know how to kind of fuse the layers, work with wax, you understand the principles of beeswax and Damar resin painting, and the health and safety aspects of that, then this is where this would come in. So let me squeeze back around again. So there's a load of photographs here you can kind of squeeze through and have a look at of what we'll be doing and what we'll be doing, etc., where I'm located, etc. But then further down, oh, and also there is a payment plan as well. So you can pay in full, or you can, which is in one hit, or there's an option to do a payment plan. So it would be a £400 deposit, and then we'll arrange the payments then between us as well. So the one for this year is obviously getting quite close now, but certainly the ones for 2020, that would be hopefully more helpful for anybody. So it kind of goes through who it's for, and I won't show you all of this day by day, but what I'll do is I'll hop on. So I'll talk in a minute about what we'll do on day one, but I'm bringing a couple of guest tutors in as well. So I'll do another live tomorrow where I'll talk about Sarah Wickenden and her style of work. Say this is all up on the website at the moment, but I'll do a short live each day to kind of explain what it is that we'll be doing and where we would be going on each day. And then there's a second guest tutor, Samantha Packer, as well. So I won't go into all of those right now, but I just thought I'd talk a little bit about the format of the week. So I say go and check out the live which was done at my studio, where you can have a really good look around. So the format, I'm just going to talk about the format of day one for now. But the thing that I have found, and the reason I've pulled these together, is the thing that I've found with, if you're an encaustic wax artist, you're probably a pretty rare breed in your country. It seems to be very big in the States and Canada, but really not well known at all in Europe. There's a group of us that are trying to change that a little bit, and really part of why I'm pulling these weeks together. So there are only 4 people, 4 spaces on these weeks. So it's a really small, intimate sort of group, 5 of us in total. And I'm not the font of all knowledge in encaustic. But I know I've met so many people, I've networked, I've learned, I've got loads and loads of information. But it's really more of an opportunity to come together and just be able to exchange ideas and sort of have that space to facilitate that. Hence inviting the other 2 guest tutors in on those 2 days. So day one, and you can go and read all this on the website, but the idea is we kind of get to the studio from 9 o'clock, but it doesn't start bang on 9. It's like, we'll have tea and coffee and pastries. There's no stress like, oh my goodness, I've got to be there bang on 9. And it's just about a really nice, enjoyable week. So we'll kick off at 10 o'clock. So just a bit of a chat, get to know each other better. And then from 10 o'clock we'll start properly. So hello. And we'll basically, so what I would do is go through all the supplies in the studio, how we would, where things are, how to work things, and just really start to exchange techniques and ideas with how we work, what products we've worked with and what we haven't worked with. And then we'll start working on some test pieces, and it's just a good opportunity for each of us to kind of see what styles we tend to work in as a starting point on day one. And then in the afternoon, we'll kind of go through a few different techniques. So I'm reading off my screen here. Encaustic tends to often be very abstract in its form, but you can actually paint in a very detailed style as well. So portraiture and things, or landscapes, whatever. So we'll kind of discuss those too and what all of our preferences are. We'll look at some 3D sculptural surfaces that can be worked on. I've been making some bowls recently, so we'll be looking at those. And also some other 3D kind of techniques and sculpture ways that we can work as well. We'll talk about shellac burn techniques, and we'll do that on day one, but certainly later in the week. So if you haven't used shellac burn before, that's an amazing technique. Love that stuff. And then also other techniques can be used during the final stage of the paintings. So as an example, pan pastels, stencils, oil paints, pigment sticks, gold leaf, that kind of thing. So all those really lovely embellishments that you can do to put on those final layers. Often what I find is because the supplies are so hard to get hold of in Europe, often people haven't even worked with them. They've never used the RNF pigment sticks before, or they've never got their hands on pan pastels, for example. So I've got loads of those materials in my studio. So it's a really good opportunity to try them out for yourself, see if you get on with them. If you do, then brilliant, you know what to go and buy. If you don't get on with them, then brilliant, that kind of saves you buying the equipment and then deciding you don't like it. So that's the purpose of day one. So amongst all of that, bound to pick up some fresh ideas, come across some materials you haven't used before. And then from there, I've obviously got the 2 guest tutor days, which I'll go into on another live. But we can kind of then structure the week a little bit according to you know, if everybody's really familiar with one style, then we'll leave that and we can bring in more of some other styles. So with my time, we've got that flexibility during the week to really kind of tailor it to whatever's relevant for us, really. And say, but the importance of these 2 weeks, if you already work with Encaustic, is that you understand the principles of fusing, you understand the health and safety, you understand the basic principles of everything. But that said, don't feel that you think that you want, you know, as long as you understand those basic principles, don't feel that, oh no, it'd be out of my league or I wouldn't be able to go. It's a really inclusive week, but you must be at least working or have worked with the wax and Daymar, not to come on a complete beginners. You know, the beginners week is for that. So there we go. That is a little bit about what the week is about. So I'll come and do another live tomorrow, and I will talk about Sarah Wickenden. She's an amazing artist who I know has been working with Encaustic wax for years and years and years, 20 odd years I think from memory. I will refresh my memory and do a live about her as well. So just to recap, go to artyheaven.com. There are 3 different weeks that are available, but also if you come to this wax, under this wax thing here, there are lots of frequently asked questions, and go and have a little look at my testimonials page as well. There are lots of people on here that have given me absolutely lovely feedback, and also it kind of says whether it's the ERNF workshop or the iron workshop or whatever it might be. So do have a little check out of that as well, if you're in any doubts. I've just updated as well down here, if you want to know where I am, if you go to the contact page down here at the very bottom, I updated my studio directions this week, so you can kind of see exactly where I'm located in, you know, so it kind of, you can drill down and then more update, you know, or a more localized set of pictures and maps to kind of how to find me, sort of thing, because it's a little bit in the middle of nowhere. Anyhow, that was what I wanted to say today. Go and check out the other video. What I'll do is I'll link them all up in a blog, I think, once I've finished doing them. But check out my other live, which is me talking much like this, but giving you a tour of my studio as well at the same time, and the materials that we would be using. And I'll keep sort of talking about it throughout this week. So if you've got any questions, please just let me know, and I'll see if I can answer them. All right, take care. Bye.